The Black Everything Network assumes no responsibility or liability for any views or feelings you may have about this video. The information contained in this video is provided on an as-is basis with no guarantees of agreeing or even that we would give a fuck. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is the Black Everything Network, and
the gray in
we
between.
come to you again, straight off of Broadway, reporting live.
Greg's place.
So we know we got our infamous Lynn, the older statesman of our group, and then everybody know Lamont. This is my comrade and co-host. So we're gonna do it live. Today we actually have an agenda. As you all know,
surprise.
It's Black Everything, which means Black people, Black excellence,
and gray areas too.
Black value.
And Black empowerment.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things. Empowerment is really a big part of what we're gonna talk about today, everybody. So I'll just start off here real quick. We're talking about Black GDP. In other words, that just means what Black people money and influence is worth. That's what the GDP is. So just
You should explain GDP. If you're gonna,
I'm getting into that.
Move faster. You're babbling to me.
You over there doing your dude. You ever heard of what an intro is, sir?
Come on, man.
Give my lighter.
Give my lighter. Oh, man. Come on.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Sorry for interruption, everybody.
No, I'm not.
Anyway. All right, but real talk. Being real serious, this is a serious conversation. So what is what we're talking about, Black GDP? Right now, you have 40.1 million people in the United States that identify solely as Black, which makes up about 12% of America. We generate, with our consumer group, Black people, $1.6 trillion in purchasing power. And then there are arguably another $500 billion in influence. Now, just to give you an idea of how big this is, the countries with a lower GDP than Black people are Mexico at 1.4 trillion, Spain, they're a little under 1.4 trillion, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and Ukraine all have lower GDPs than Black people here in America. So that's just to give you, that's what it is, and this is what we're talking about, and that's the foundation. But I'm gonna pass it over to Lynn, and he gonna elaborate on this subject.
No, that's large. I appreciate you passing it over to me. You know, I'm glad to get some knowledge about that, because I thought.
Actually, let me ask you a question then,
sure.
And then you'll ask the next. What do you characterize as Black GDP? Because you kind of made a crack about it earlier. So,
the gross national product is something that I understand. The GDP that you talked about is something that is new to me. I understand that as Black people, we have influence on quite a bit of money, but I did not know the numbers that you throwing out there. Mm-hmm. I did not know that we were larger than those countries that you named.
Okay.
That's knowledge to me. That's something that went past me. I have lived in an age that we did what we had to do to survive. Our main goal as Black people were, survival. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had relatives and distant great whatever we want to talk about that were slaves. They passed stories down to us, and they embedded in us. The first thing you have to understand on this earth, if you want to survive, is you don't trust the devil. Don't get in bed with the devil. Watch the white man, because he going to do you every mother freaking time. Bam! He gonna do you.
Watch the white man.
Yeah, watch him, because he gonna do you.
All right, so bring it back. So hold on, Lance. So hold on, Lamont.
Where y'all want to
So
go?
what do you feel like Black GDP is?
Look, man, now my description of what you all just discussed, of course, is different.
I ain't asked you that.
But
I
I'm
asked you, what
telling
do you
you
think GDP is?
GDP,
for me.
there you go.
All right, exactly. And I just said it's different than what you all discussed. That's the buying power. That's how much money we accumulate and we contribute to the wealth of the world. We have that much influence now. We make that kind of money, we spend that kind of money or have that kind of power, but how it contributes to us is the absurdity that bothers me.
I like that.
We're not getting none of that. Not what we worth. And so that's what this was to me was about today.
Yes.
Is that all of this? You just said we bigger than some major countries, and don't understand it or
didn't know.
Don't
and that was
benefit for any of it.
That was just a small amount, dude. There's another dozen countries we're larger than.
Of course.
I understand.
And these are actual countries.
Having all of that says what? Says less about. Says what about us?
That's worth a lot. That is a lot.
Well, that's why it's a little.
Power us.
That's why it's a little unbelievable that Black people as a whole can't get together and figure this shit out. But anyway, let's move on.
You may start it.
We gave our opinion, so we're gonna look at these dudes' opinions on it real quick and see, if their opinion is in line with us or we disagree. All right. So we're gonna start the video.
Sounds good to me.
What's going on, everyone? Today we're being joined by Dr. Boyce Watkins. We're very happy for him to join us on our platform. Dr. Watkins, thank you for joining us and welcome to the program.
Absolutely, brother. It's my pleasure to be here, and I love the advice show. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. Thank you.
Well, we wanted to, since you are a financial guru within our community, and we need to pick your brain on some things today in the area of finance. So most people see the title. We have a $1 trillion buying power, but in the Black community, we don't benefit from it at all. Why is that?
Because Black people are very good at giving their money away. We love supporting our masters, former masters. It's a habit, it's a tradition that we've had for hundreds of years. And to put it more simply, people don't understand the power of money. We have not been trained to understand what money really is. Money is actually capital. Capital is something that is supposed to be used to help you make more money. Meaning, for example, if I take my money and I buy a building and some trucks in a factory, I'm not buying it so I can just live in the factory. I'm buying it so I can use the factory to make money, right? Or if I buy a cow, I buy the cow so I can get the milk and sell the milk. Well, that's what money is. Money's supposed to be a form of capital that helps you make more money over the long term. It's not supposed to be a form of consumption. Consumption is when you get the money and you say, okay, now I can make even more trips to the mall. The worst examples I could think of, man, are cases of like athletes who've never been trained on financial literacy, who will literally earn $100 million over, say, a 10, 12-year period, and will just engage in extravagant amounts of spending that just don't make any sense. And what they don't understand is that when you have that kind of capital on that level, like somebody gives you $100 million, you can turn that into $1 billion in a generation by putting it in the right place. So just reframing how we think about money can be huge in terms of changing the game for us a generation or two from now.
Now, let me ask you, it's something that I've said, many times before. Black people are the most vain people I know, because we will spend our last on the most expensive stuff and we can't afford it. Why is it that we as Black people have to have the best car, the best clothes, the best hair, the best shoes, but yet when you go in a person's house, like say some of these single guys, they got all these nice clothes, but then he's sitting on a soapbox inside of their apartment, but they look good. Why is that we have our priorities so screwed up financially?
That's an extreme as
that's a great question right there.
Okay, so what's your opinion on that?
That's a great question.
It's 300%
go ahead,
what we're talking about.
Go ahead.
300% of what we're talking about. got some extreme examples, but yeah, we do splurge a lot.
But
and to his question is why do we feel we want the best for everything? She's inbred in us. I ain't saying being frivolous and fuck your money up, but there's just something that about us that shit. I want to have the best of everything. I don't think he would buy all of that shit and be sitting on the motherfucking soapbox. He's a pretty rich. He gonna have all of my shit.
Well, no, I got partners' houses that I've went to. I've been to people's houses that do that. Like, man, the nigga would have the best looking car you've seen this side of St. Louis, and you go to his crib and he barely got any furniture. He got like a box TV. It's like, yeah, and then he also got a closet full of clothes. But that's the thing. That's where his priority is. He wants to look good when he go out in the car so he can pick up chicks, and he just go to their house. He don't never go to his house. So it's maybe that's not isolated to just the black community, but I'm saying it is something I noticed. So what is your opinion on what he said though, that we're still slaves to our masters?
I would agree with him, but the only thing that has changed, we have different masters now.
Ooh.
We have different masters. We are slave to what he talked about. We are slave to walk around looking good. We are slaves to
vanity.
To vanity. Yeah.
Vanity.
Yeah.
That's something that is, I don't know. I think it's more reactionary. And the reactionary part that I'm talking about is they have abused and misused us so long to keep us without and give us the pour in. We used to get the worst cuts of meat, the worst this, the worst that, all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, my relatives grew up on pig feet. Why in the hell would you want some of a pig feet, all right? I got relatives that I remember told me about how to cook chicken feet. All right, now we talking about pig feet, chicken feet, and then guess what the topper is? That tripe salmon.
That's a goddamn cow stomach.
Yes.
We coming back around to this money, man.
You digressing though, old man.
I know. Y'all go where you going. I just think about that shit. Go ahead.
Well, let me get your interpretation of what he's saying about we're still slaves to our master.
And we are.
Well, first, do you agree to it?
I totally agree.
Okay.
300%, not 100%, 300. We are.
Okay.
And slaves in a bunch of ways because, yeah, we spending that money and we are vain. But who's, at the end of the day, who's did the money benefit? It didn't benefit us. It benefited all of them. Now, if we was vain and we was putting that money back in our community,
do the investment like he said.
I'm talking about even on the smaller end. When we start talking about our communities and who benefited the most from the most of the confectionaries, the cleaners,
gone.
They were Jews. They were Jews in our community.
They gone.
My point. My point is
we gonna
everybody
hit
benefited
on
our neighborhood but us.
Right. You just jumped ahead, and I had already told you earlier how we gonna
come
do
on,
this.
Man. Come on.
Don't do that. But anyways, I'm playing with you. No, we are gonna hit on that later though about how foreign entities took over our neighborhoods that are predominantly black.
Oh man, that's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. But
what's your podcast
talking about? Black everything. Black everything. Black everything.